and welcome back to my channel. I feel like I haven't filmed a video in so long, but that's just because I've had a lot of content backed up on my computer that I have been editing and posting for you guys. Since then, I have edited everything I have, so this is a start of a brand new video. Well, obviously. In today's video, we are going to be spending maybe about a week together, kind of like a weekly reading vlog, but it is going to be a themed reading vlog. I am only going to be reading Christina Lauren books for my next few reads. I am just as excited about this as you are. Christina Lauren is one of my favorite romance authors, or should I say author duo. They just write some of my favorite rom-coms. I remember specifically reading The Unhoneymooners via an audiobook when I was on vacation down in Florida, actually at Walt Disney World, and absolutely falling in love with the story. And since then, the rest has been history. I do have quite a few of their books backed up that I still haven't gotten time to get to. That is the whole goal of this reading vlog, is to read those Christina Lauren books that I just simply haven't had time to yet. So the first book I'm going to be picking up in this vlog is The True Love Experiment, obviously by Christina Lauren. This is the book that follows the soulmate equation. I read the soulmate equation immediately when it came out a few years ago. Was it a few years ago? I'm pretty sure it was a few years ago. All I know is that as soon as it came out, I immediately read it and gave it a big 5 stars. It instantly became one of my favorites, and Fizzy, who is the main character in this book, was a side character in the soulmate equation, and I absolutely fell in love with her. So as soon as I heard that this was coming out and Fizzy was the main character, obviously I had to pick it up. I was going to start this reading vlog a few days ago, but life has been so chaotic. I had to get a new phone. I waited in line online for Matt Rife tickets. If you know, you know. I got them. Yay! And I've just been going non-stop with my baseball boys, but I'm so happy we are actually starting this video now. I went ahead and started listening to the audiobook for The True Love Experiment a few days ago, but I haven't really gotten too far into it. Right now, I am on chapter 21, which is only 37% of the way into the book. So far, we've just scratched the surface of what the story is actually going to be about. We are following Fizzy, like I said earlier, and Connor is our male love interest, and he is currently casting different heroines to star in this TV show he is creating where Fizzy is the main star. The TV show is more like a Bachelor-esque vibe, so Fizzy is going to have to date all of these men and hopefully come out with the right one for her. So far, I'm really liking that we get the perspective of both Fizzy and Connor. On the audiobook, listening to Connor and his British accent is great. Fizzy is taking a little bit of time of getting used to, just because she is so high-strung and very dead set in her ways, but that's just what makes Fizzy Fizzy. There's been a couple laugh out loud moments, and I'm sure there's going to be more. So far, I'm enjoying it, and I'm really looking forward to just sitting down tonight and reading through a big piece of this. For now, I am going to go put some comfy clothes on for our Saturday night full of reading. I also need to go shower because I literally have dirt everywhere. So once I pick this bad boy back up, I'll be sure to check in. And just like that, it is Tuesday, and boy do I have some reading updates for you. So yesterday, in the middle of the workday, I actually ended up finishing The True Love Experiment via the audiobook. I was cheesing so hard by the end. Although I didn't care for this one as much as I liked the soulmate equation, The True Love Experiment was still a really fun time getting to follow Fizzy and Connor as our main characters. Connor, as he is referred to in the book as the hot British DILF that he is, he was just the most perfect male main character, and I honestly couldn't have picked or created a better character for Connor. This book literally had all of the tropes you could think of. It had a low-key forbidden romance, a workplace romance, friends to lovers, forced proximity, the one bed trope, and just so many more. This isn't a spoiler, but if you've already read this, you'll know what I'm referring to. Before the TV show started airing within this book, Connor and Fizzy went on these little joy excursions that weren't dates, but they basically were. They were so stinking cute, and how the ending tied together all of their little joy excursions was just literally perfection. And speaking of the ending, you could see the ending coming from a mile away, but just how everything wrapped up, I was smiling so hard. What I didn't like about the ending though is that I think it was too quick. It ended abruptly. I could have done with having an epilogue or even just an extra chapter that was set in the future so we could see how all of the repercussions of Fizzy and Connor getting together actually played out, because in that aspect, we'll never know. Then lastly, I honestly think this book could have done without the Bachelor or Bachelorette TV show plot. I can't even believe I'm saying that, but I feel like it was there for just fluff and for Connor and Fizzy to get together. And in my opinion, it didn't need to be. I would have found following Fizzy and Connor creating one of Fizzy's books into a movie where Connor was the director, and from there it sparks their love story and they fall in love that way. That would have been just as enjoyable for me as it was in here. So I wouldn't really head into this book with the expectations of you're literally going to be in the Bachelor TV show world, because it's kind of just a subplot. So with all of that, I think I'm going to end up giving this 4 out of 5 stars. I'm super glad I read it and I enjoyed my time while reading it. Towards the end, I couldn't put it down because I just needed to know how everything played out and what happened to our main girl, Fizzy. So with finally tackling a Christina Lauren book and getting it off of my TBR, even though it is a recent release, I'm going to continue the Christina Lauren trend and pick up a book that has been sitting on my shelves for literally years, and that's Love in Other Words. I don't want to break my own heart. All this time that has passed of me not reading this book, I have avoided all spoilers. All I know is that it's sad. I'm hoping to either start and finish this one today or tomorrow, but it'll be wrapped up here in a few days. So if I check back in absolutely devastated, y'all will know why. You guys, I just made it home from work and all day today I binged the audio of Love in Other Words because I literally couldn't focus on anything else because I just needed to figure out what the whole deal was with Macy and Elliot within this book. I just wish I could have brought out my camera to capture my reactions to reading this, because girls, did I have them. I kind of updated my Instagram stories of my thoughts as I was reading through like the last 75% of this. I just needed to share with people that understood. I ended up telling my dad what this book was about, so he was invested just as much as I was. It was cute, and I had to tell him how it ended. So I think I'm settling on giving this a 4.5 star rating simply because how the whole third act thing with Elliot was kind of just glossed over and referred to as one thing when it really was another thing. It didn't settle well with me, but how Macy and Elliot came out of the situation made up just for that one little thing that irked me. This has to be one of my favorite books by Christina Lauren. Usually I struggle with books that switch from then to now every single chapter, but the fact that these chapters were just a couple pages long really kept the story flowing. I just needed to know what was going to happen. If you haven't read this yet, I won't give away any spoilers, but in the synopsis and throughout this entire book, you are just spending time with Macy and Elliot and trying to figure out what drove them apart 11 years ago. What was thrown in there involving Macy and her dad ripped my heart out. I was literally listening to this while my dad was driving us around, stopping at different places. And if you know how much that would have affected me in that moment, because it sure did. Something else that I want to add really fast is how whenever they were stressed or in an adorable situation or pretty much any situation where they needed to connect with each other, by the end of the conflict resolution, whatever, they asked each other what their favorite word was in the moment. That's so stinking cute. Jordan, thank you so much for sending me this copy, and I am so happy I finally got around to reading one of your favorites. I can definitely see why it is, and just know that I love this just as much as you did. So since I read Love in Other Words in less than 24 hours, I feel like I have my reading mojo back. So I think I'm going to continue on with this video, hopefully without making it too long. Heading forward, I'm going to let my Bookstagram followers decide what I'm going to read. If you're not following me on there, be sure you do. I'll put my tag right here. I do fun little polls like this all the time on my stories, so if you want to be a part of that, be sure to check it out. Since this is obviously a Christina Lauren reading vlog, I do have quite a few still on my TBR that I haven't read yet. The first option that I'm going to give to my followers is autobiography. I don't know anything about this, but it's been sitting on my shelves for ages. I think I got it when it first came out without even knowing that Christina Lauren were two people or that I was going to fall in love with their writing. So this one has been a TBR veteran for sure. And then on the other side of things, the other option is going to be The House. All I know is that this is a romance and there's a paranormal element where I think the house or something in the house doesn't want one of our main characters to pursue a relationship with the other. I might have that completely wrong, but for right now, that's all I can remember that this story is about. So with those two options up in the air, I'm going to go shower, do some laundry, get some dinner going. After I have all that finished and I settle down for a bit, I'll check back in with you guys and let you know what my Instagram followers decided for me to read next. I am back with an answer of which Christina Lauren book will be my final read of this video. Drum roll. Is that a good drum roll? According to my Instagram followers, the final book that I will be reading in this video is autobiography. I'll pop the poll up on the screen now just so you can see how close the poll actually was to each other. Autobiography had 62% over The House, which only had 38%. So I'm pretty sure this came out... Yeah, this book came out in 2017. I know I didn't pick this book up the year it came out, but the fact that it's been sitting on my shelves for a lot of years is unacceptable. So now is the time that I will be picking up this book. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think I've read a young adult by Christina Lauren, so I'm interested in this opposed to their adult rom-com books. So with all of that being said, I am now going to pick up autobiography and hopefully get a chunk into this. I'm really glad my Libby library audiobook app had this available on there because this is a pretty chunky book that I'm intimidated by, even though I have no reason to be. The audio will definitely make the 400 pages go by a lot quicker than my eyeballs could. When I have one, I'll be sure to check back in with an update. Well, here we are. Several days have gone by and I have to end this video with a DNF. If you don't know what a DNF means, that means I'm not finishing this book. As much as I wanted to love this book, especially picking it up during Pride Month, no matter how many times I attempted to read it physically or by listening to the audio on Libby, I just could not get behind it. Before y'all come at me in the comments, I know how important this story is for several people, so don't let my little opinion discredit yours or lead you astray from picking this up. There are several good reasons why you should pick this up. So I got about 30% of the way into this before I decided not to pick it up again. 30% is a long ways into this book, but I kept telling myself that the things that were bugging me were going to improve. They never did. The first thing you should know about this before heading into it is that it is very, very, very heavy on the religion and Mormon talk. I did not know that before heading into it. I know it had a key part of the plot, but every single chapter went into depth about Mormons and LDS and the church, everything you ever need to know. I know that talk can be beneficial for a lot to feel represented within a story, but personally, I felt like I was reading a textbook at times and there were just paragraphs that I could skim over because we got so much information in each chapter about the religion. It was just really info dumpy for me, so it was just pretty hard for me to get into the story when I'm skipping paragraphs. So the second thing that I had an issue with was this was very, very insta-lovey. Tanner literally saw Sebastian, the other love interest, in class, and within like the first time he laid eyes on him, he was like, "I'm in love with you." And just how the two of them kept meeting up and what was happening, it felt forced rather than authentic. It was just another reason that I couldn't really get behind this story. And after reading some reviews on Goodreads, I know there's a lot more stuff that goes down in the book that plays into the issues that I've already had with it, especially with the best friend in this story, Autumn. I know something happens with her, and I wasn't really interested to go through all of that to find out what it was. So with those two reasons and a couple more that, to be honest, I can't really remember since it's been a couple days since I last picked this up, those are the reasons why I decided to DNF autobiography. I tried really hard to keep reading this just so I wouldn't end this reading vlog on a sour note, but I just couldn't do it, y'all. Overall, I had lots of fun with this reading vlog. It actually ended up being pretty successful, knocking out 3 books from my physical TBR. Not including the DNF, I had a 4.5 and a 4-star. So any reading vlog, when I have that high of ratings, it's a win in my book. With that, I hope y'all got some inspiration to pick up a Christina Lauren book in the future. They're still one of my favorite romance author duos, and I will be picking up everything else that they come out with in the future. If you guys have read any of these 3 Christina Lauren books, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Or if you have another Christina Lauren book that's your favorite, let me know what it is. I know there's still a few books that I still have to read by them, so if you guys want a part 2 to this reading vlog, that might be fun to film. And with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'll catch you soon in another reading video. See ya! When is your next baseball game? Tomorrow at Starry, 5:30. Dad wants a hot dog. Did I say I gave this book 4 stars? I wanted to give it 4.5 stars. English is hard. I don't even remember our main character's name. Sebastian, right? The half nightstand, or this, what are you doing the night of July 3rd? The night of July 3rd? I don't know. Working? It's a Monday. Like, are you serious? That is just so stinking cute. It can't get much better than that.
Sitting in your room, working on my first record.